Testing Philip. Seems to be working. Hello, everyone. It's called Face Rig. I'm an anime. How you all doing? Yes, my eyes are in fact broken. I need to reset the tracking with the eyes. That is not quite working right. Okay, I think that's better. My eyes always close a little bit when I start talking. That's weird. Oh. I look kind of derpy. The eyes. I don't know why that is. Oh. I do look drunk. Oh my god, I'm a different person now. Oh my god. I look less drunk as this guy. The problem is every time I turn to look at OBS, the camera gets all confused. Yes, this is a playlist of Mega Man X remixes. Now I look high? Maybe I am. No, I'm not. Yeah, just when I talk. I've got a wide variety of things on here, though. I can be this if I want. Spin that leak. I can't make the leak spin is the problem. And what's the point if you can't make the leak spin? Seriously, what is the point if you can't make the leak spin? The Sans is honestly pretty good except for the mouth. Like, honestly, the mouth should move more than this, you would think. Stop telling me to recalibrate, please, Face Rig. Sailor Moon's not bad. Her eyes are moving like crazy. You can calibrate various things. Well, I just feel like it's a little bit off, Kinu. I don't know. It's kind of accurate, but it's also a little... It's weird when it's your face. It doesn't feel accurate to your face. I don't know how accurate this is to my face, though. The eye calibration is pretty ridiculous right now. Let me see if I can fix that. Now one of my eyes is just closed all the time, apparently. Oh, that's way better. Okay. Still happening sometimes, but that's definitely better. Turn the smoothing out, yeah. It's another anime. Oh my god. Hey, it's an anime. It's not a new face. I'm just turning to look at the other monitor, okay? This actually, I think, might have been a mod that someone made. I forget if it's a default anime or a mod. Although, my absolute favorite. You go, puppy in a bowl. Yeah! Seriously, it does not get any better than this. Yeah! What else? What else we got here? This fucking calibration thing, go away. Just don't. No. Thank you. Muffet is good. They did a really good job with her. It's animated really well. And I love how all the eyes react to your two eyes. Napsub looks pretty good too. Yeah, Lord Burger apparently likes something. I don't know what it's trying to tell me, honestly. Hi, I'm Link. You might recognize me from such adventures as The Legend of Zelda. I'm so high right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Link's not bad. The Snake one is almost really good. Where'd Snake end up? No, that's Hatsune Miku. That's Toho. That's... I don't know what that is. There we go. Like... This almost works really well, but it's kind of like something is so off about it. Wait, it wasn't a Toho? I was actually wrong about that. It's like it's really well done, but it's not Snake. I don't know. It's something about it is totally. Midori, Alia, and Fifi are planning on starting an all-girl band. That's great. Apparently the green screen is leaking. That is interesting. Of course we got, you know, the stuff that actually comes with Face Rig. How you doing? I'm a robot. I see your Smash tier list. While I agree that Ganondorf is pretty excellent, I have to say I disagree with many of the other categorizations of the characters. I'm so mad about this! Is there a Goku? Oddly enough, I did not see a Goku. I'm sure it's only a matter of time. There is, however, a Velociraptor. And honestly, you can't go wrong with that. No Dragon Ball Z things at all, from what I saw. Maybe they've been added since I looked. Oh, the Raptor's getting cut off, isn't he? It can also be a snail. I mean, why would you not want to be a snail? Obviously. Also, this isn't Face Rig, this is me. This is what I look like. Like a 3D model. I am a 3D model. That's good to hear, Cake. I can be Medusa, also. That's fun. Unfortunately, I can't control the snakes on her head with my consciousness. Yeah, it looks a lot like Kerrigan. Can also be Gerard? Is that you? Nah. Yeah, Gerard is definitely prettier than this dude. Though it's arguable whether he is prettier than this. Hello, everyone! Of course, everyone's favorite, the burger. Oh yeah, I've got onions for eyes! Ooh, baby! True Burger King. There's also a dragon. The dragon's pretty sweet. Sup? I'm a dragon. I'm trying to look over at OBS without getting out of the camera. Okay. It's not entirely cut off. Octodad, you want Octodad? I'll give you Octodad. Wait, this is... His mouth doesn't even... I don't know what his mouth does. I don't know what's controlling that. Can also be a cat wearing a German helmet. Because who wouldn't want to be that? Really? I mean, come on! Meow. Or, you know, I can trade out the hat for Samurai. How's the sound balance, by the way? The volume here. I don't know what the fuck this thing is, but it's pretty cool. And nightmarish. But yeah, how is the sound balance right now? The music and my voice. Also be a pumpkin. Pumpkinhead! We're good on sound? Alright. The stream is supposed to start, but I can't help but mess around on FaceRig a little bit more. We can be a furry. We can be many kinds of furries in FaceRig. We got that. We got Tiger Furry. Hello. We have Totally Not Rocket Raccoon. I do not know what you're talking about. Not in any way, shape, or form, clearly. And of course, we have the best one of all. Hi guys, I'm PewDiePie. I make videos on the internet. Hello, Muflex. STF does not run these streams. This is a generally it's something for chat regulars to do when STF is not streaming. I'm Quakerin. Hi, I'm PewDiePie right now. because I'm fooling around with Face Rig. But generally we do, stuff similar to SGF, and on Fridays we all we do group stuff together. On Wednesdays I do my own thing, sort of modeled after what SGF does. And LiveBait usually streams on Thursdays, although this week I am streaming right now, and I'm going to switch from PewDiePie, because honestly, do we really want to be looking at PewDiePie for this? I think it would be much better to be Kirby. So anyway, unfortunately Kirby's not that well done. But I do have a YouTube channel. We upload the archive streams there. Let me grab you a link. Oops, that was the wrong page. That was the music. Did not mean to do that. Here's a link to my YouTubes. But let's end things with where's the this girl who it's really easy to make look stoned. And seriously, you just close your eyes a little bit and she's so out of it. Oh god, I'm so high right now. Oh man. Anyway. Yeah, gotta cut down on making animes high. So, Heroes Rise. Things are not going so well for Tatsuya Schatz, descendant of Tom Schatz, and codename the Red Vortex. His debut did not exactly go as planned. And, some weird lady showed up and killed all the villains we were gonna confront, and then broke the thing we were trying to retrieve, and framed us for everything. So, doesn't exactly look great. And, despite that, we have decided to continue our legacy as a hero. We're still going to try. We're going to redeem our parents' name. Yeah, mode was pretty good. Mode takes a while to get going, but once it does, I'd say mode is up there. I mean, Illbleed was how I found SGF. That was an incredible LP. I still love it. It's one of the best. But we then signed up for the sidekick program. We have Sparrow as our sidekick. She's a bird girl. She's a bird who's a girl. She's from a rough district, rough place near where we live. So, let's continue here. We're going to meet our agent Jenny. So, Chapter 8, The Vigilante. As you fly to meet Jenny, your thoughts are consumed with Sparrow in your own younger years. It makes you remember why Jenny is not just your PFPP agent, she's also your best friend. When your life was turned upside down by your parents' imprisonment and you moved in with Grandma, you couldn't talk to any of your old friends. Going from your sheltered private school to the rougher public school was a big change. especially as you began to learn that there are all kinds of social implications to being powered. The anti-gang rivalries in the Eastern Fringes are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to powered politics. Entire textbooks have been written on the subject, so to say that powered kids are cliquey would be an understatement. Upon arriving at your new school, there was one group that immediately tortured you the most. Alright, so who were we picked on, chat? Who picked on us when we were at school? Was it 1, the telepaths, 2, the natural resource elementals, the animalistics, the strong, the clairvoyants, the techies, or the normal kids, the mundanes, if you will? I picked Tirana when I played it, aka Rich Bitch. She wasn't that bad. I picked her because her power is controlling water, and that's a pretty neat power that could come in handy. Well, looks like those mundane normals were the ones who picked on us. The powered kids were a minority at school to begin with, which meant that the majority of the school already hated you, since unpowered kids are notoriously wary of powered kids. Though the normal kids targeted you especially because if there's anything teenagers hate most, it's when they can't squeeze you into a specific group. And you had a lot of trouble finding a group, even though you tried to befriend. So did we want to befriend the people with powers like us? The energy wielders or the flyers? Because we can do both of those things. Which group did we try to join? Got 2 votes for flyers, 1 for energy wielders. Alright, looks like overwhelmingly we decided to bond with others over flying. However, flyers hated energy wielders based on some age-old feud dating back to the earliest powered individuals. What are the odds, chat? Apparently the first flyer and the first energy wielder were mortal enemies. Great. Since you have both flight and energy powers, you were seen as a particularly heinous gene hazard. No one wanted you in their group, and as a result of your solo status, you were hounded by just about everyone at school. Well, they did say that we tried to befriend them, Kinu. I think it was pretty clear that it didn't work out. You can imagine Sparrow at school, embroiled in the intense animalistic rivalries of the Fringes. It makes perfect sense that she was so passionate about taking on the NA gangs. You wonder how she deals with it, because when you were at school, you handled the social politics by... Well, how did we handle social politics, Chad? Did we keep to ourselves? Not let anyone bully us? Ever! Always trying to make friends, despite how the other kids treated us. Also an option. The music sounds a little bit loud to me, but sometimes it's hard to tell from my end. Does anyone else think the music is a little loud and I should turn it down a bit? Or is everyone happy with that? Looks like we are going with, we don't let people bully us. That's just not something we let happen. Maybe a little? Alright, I'll turn it down a bit. Let me know how that is. Despite hating you, everyone knew not to mess with you after you cracked a few of the bullies' skulls. Yeah. Still, you felt very alone. Actually, you've always felt alone, but it's not something you allow yourself to give much thought to. It's just the way things are. There are some things in life you can't control. The only thing you can control is how hard you work to change everything. You're meeting Jenny at your favorite spot, the Vigilante, MC's largest comic/game/collectible store, which luckily happens to be open 24 hours. Occupying 4 stories, the Vigilante is practically a department store for all things hero-related. You and Jenny always meet in one of the private gaming rooms, usually over your favorite virtuous reality games. Private gaming rooms. Do you guys remember back in the day there were actually like cyber cafe places where you could get private gaming rooms? And they would give you like computers and consoles with a bunch of games and stuff. And you could play it while you were there. And you could get like a card, like, and be a member. So you can go there to play video games. Because that was totally a thing. I had a birthday party at one. It's a Thai restaurant now. Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway. Sorry, Tatsuya, I'm afraid there's no time for fun today, she says, sitting down. As usual, she wears her ponytail pantsuit uniform. Ponytail pantsuit uniform, that is a way to describe that. Though you notice she has added an unexpected red heel to the ensemble. I hear you've been rather busy, Jenny says. Too busy to return my calls, it seems. I know, but before you rip into me, you start, let me tell you my side of the story. 20 minutes later. Having heard every detail of your first heroing night, Jenny pauses to mull it over. Well, you certainly dove headfirst into the deep end, didn't you? Ever heard of paying your dues? Well, I mean the latter? There's a reason people aren't supposed to skip steps, Mr. the Red Vortex. You should have called for help. You should have... Jenny, you interrupt. I get it. I took on too much too fast, which is exactly why I went back to basics earlier tonight. I stopped the Annie Gang rumble. Well, that's certainly a smarter, though no less dangerous place to start, Jenny offers. Still, you've dug yourself quite a hole here. Yes, I did. You say, tired of mulling over the horrors of your situation. So, what are we going to do now to make it better? I suppose that's the spirit. Well, I'll start looking into Prodigal, though there's not much to go on. Black Kevlar bodysuits are pretty common purchases these days. This song is not loading. Well, let's just skip that track then. I could look into her power set, but I bet she's unregistered. And it's clear she has some kind of mat-on for you, though. Perhaps you have your first genuine villain stalker? Yeah, right. You say, wishing you were enough of a somebody for that to be true. She probably saw that silly Hero Press post and wanted me out of her way. She's just another nobody trying to make a name for herself. Still, anything you can find would be helpful. I'm on it. Now, before we move on to the Splice Circle, I've got a bit of briefing prepared for you. All the basics on powered heroing, plus some gems of advice. Do you want to go over it now? Well, what should we do, chat? Should we go over it now? Or do we not have time for that shit? Yeah, I think we need all the help we can get, and it looks like Chad agrees. Good, Jenny says, looking down at her meat chip. Inspector Detector will forward you the folder. There's a PFPP handbook on heroing in there, but since you're maintaining a secret identity, you've already got most of it covered. The more interesting stuff involves some comprehensive information on powered history and science. Suddenly, Jenny's meat chip, Inspector Detector, a British man in a long trench coat. Is that better or worse than our meat chip, chat? Sassy diva Michelle Obama. Meat chip Michelle Obama appears to take it from him, and as they begin to chat, you start to read the contents. Powered Humans, a Brief History. Fairly certain you already know most of this information, you begin to skip through the articles, catching glimpses of paragraphs here and there. Humans first began developing extraordinary talents in the late 21st century, all appearing in the same generation and spanning across the globe. On the heels of the Industrial Revolution, the millennial tech boom and the energy regenesis, the powered renaissance has been marked as the next great step in human history. You stop reading, scrolling to another document. Had evolved beyond racism, sexism, and sexual orientationism. But these hot-button issues were quickly supplanted by genism. The first crop of powered individuals, powereds as they were soon dubbed, though less polite circles referred to them as gene hazards, were greatly shunned by the general public. So many of these international powered individuals fled to Millennia City, an emerging urban center on the American West Coast, where they could be free to form their own community. Backed by the United States government, which realized that fast-acting acceptance and regulation of the powered individuals could kickstart a resurgence in their declining prominence against the then dominant world power, China. The American powered renaissance began, solidified by both the Powered Citizen Equality Act and the creation of the Department for the Regulation of Powered Resources. The world's first powered heroes began to flourish in America's Millennia City, sparking a cultural trend that would sweep the globe. Though anti-powered regulations in China remain as tightly controlled as... Yeah, I'm falling asleep reading this, Tolling. Now, we're almost on the many credit First Gentleman Harrison St. Hill, husband of the first gay president, with pushing President Nicola into approving pro-power legislation. Oh my god, there's more. Alright. Let's speed up! Let's blast through with sonic speed! As if widely known, the progress of the millennial tech boom curved off with the onset of the Third World War, which in turn sparked the perfection of nuclear technology that spawned the energy regenesis at the unthinkable cost of losing a sizable portion of northern Russia in the fusion eclipse. Many scientists have posited that in light of the massive world upheaval, human evolution took the next step to satisfy society's inefficiencies. With technology now eliminating the need for many basic human functions and with the energy crisis seemingly solved, humanity was free to unlock further potential in their genomes and take on new abilities. Time to speed up! Gotta go fast! The onset of powered abilities has sparked an early period of rapid growth and change, unlocking potential previously thought unimaginable. With humans now regulating weather patterns, generating clean water, and building cities with their minds, the limits of progress seem to have once again been shattered. Just this week, NASA reported they're prepping their first mission on powered astronauts, capable of traveling through space at previously unrecorded speeds and distances. Others, most notably the growing cult movement called the Meek, possess a decidedly less positive outlook on the powered renaissance. Many see an upswing in violence, unrest, and conflict that will most assuredly lead a fourth civil war, especially as the eastern and western worlds seem deadlock in powered individual arms race. You stop reading, looking at Jenny with an eye roll. Come on, I know my heroing history inside and backwards. Don't you have anything new for me? As a matter of fact, I do, Jenny says. I've got a special tip for you. Alright, Jenny's gonna give us a tip. What kind of tip do we want? We can get a fighting tip, a power tip, or we could not get a tip, I guess. Who is John Galt? And as soon as he answered, you regretted asking. We're tied with one vote each right now for the first two. We are still tied. Anyone? Anyone else? Oh, good. A vote for number 3. Thanks. Now it's a 3-way tie. That's exactly what I wanted. Where are my dice? Keep putting my dice away somewhere and not remembering where. Oh, there. Oh, and then people vote. As soon as I find my dice, people vote. So I guess I just gotta look for my dice. Looks like we are going with a power tip. Given the stigma surrounding flying energy unification, I'm sure you never really thought of this before, but you can utilize your flying and energy powers in all kinds of useful combinations. Even though it's more costly in terms of power level, these combinations might pack the extra punch you need. You nod at Jenny, thinking that even though this seems like common sense, you never thought about it in exactly those terms before. Probably because we're stupid, I guess? I mean, you would think of that. It's not like it's that groundbreaking an idea, but okay! Suddenly, endless combinations start to run through your mind. Cyclonic spinning with crushing energy blast, turning yourself into a charging battering ram. The possibilities seem endless. Yeah, that does make her powers quite a bit cooler. You want to start testing these out right away, but Jenny interrupts you. You've got levels of power I don't think you quite understand, Tatsuya. With the new breakthroughs in energized atom splitting, if you really wanted to, I think you could... Jenny starts, but almost immediately looks like she regrets having said anything at all. Jenny, what are you talking about? You ask, completely confused. Never mind, she says, going all steely again. We've already wasted enough time. Let's get back to business. Jenny has just given you quite a bit to think about, so you make a mental note to investigate this powered potential later. A note that your meat chip records without you even asking. Alright, so, you've started a fine mess with the splice circle, Jenny says. One of my contacts at the downtown precinct interrogated Tracker. Turns out Smither didn't just want the gravitas to increase his offensive powers. He was also trying to expand into the ancient weapons business. He contracted Tracker to acquire the gravitas and become the Splice Circle's newest general. Apparently, Tracker already had his G&D penile enlargement scheduled. Good to know. Thank you, Jenny. Jenny lets out a giggle, but quickly pulls herself back to seriousness. There was some concern within the Splice Circle that the blatantly illegal nature of Smither's latest enterprise was too bold, so Madame Weiss began placing her ducks in a row for a coup, a move she'd been waiting to make since Smither dumped her. Then Prodigal showed up, you fill in, taking out Smither and giving Madame Weiss the chance she needed to make her move. Right you are. Here's the latest intel on the Spy Circle operation, Jenny says, sending another Inspector Detector me message, this time displaying the organizational Splice Circle chart you pulled up earlier. Alright. Smither is dead. Boulder is dead. Should we read about the business generals or the crime generals on this updated roster? And while you vote on this, the most important of all choices, I will be right back. Okay, sorry to keep you waiting. It looks like we will be checking out the crime generals. What is it, AKB? I would like to see what it is. Let's find out. It's a thing. Okay. It's Japanese things, I guess. I'm assuming it's Japanese. I don't know. It's another language. It's not English. That's the point. All right. Loli is still in charge of prostitution. Apparently that is going well for her, as she is an emerging underboss. So that's good. Casing is dead, and Fracture's dead, though. And Tracker is incarcerated. So that's great. Do we want to see the business generals also, or should we just let Jenny fill us in? Looks like we'll just let Jenny fill us in then. Our intel isn't perfect, but as far as we can tell, as soon as Smither went down, Madame Weiss made her move. She had already recruited the female-centered generals Wanda W. and Loli, bringing the club, Sindan, and prostitution ring together. However, the former underboss Casing made a play for his rightful ascension just as fast. But Madame Weiss moved faster, Jenny finishes, since Casing's body washed up on the docks this morning. Looks like someone's been rather busy, you'd say, thinking that all you've done in the past couple weeks was stop an anti-gang rumble. Madame Weiss has already seized control of the circle and started restructuring, but there was a hiccup with Kirkpatrick. Jenny says, do you remember who Static was? Chad, do we remember who Static was? I remember who Static was, but do you? Do we? Yes, Smash Bros. Wii U is in fact a really, really good game, as is the 3DS version. Alright, we have one vote for not needing to be reminded. One person here remembers who Static is. And no one else is voting, so I guess we totally remember who Static is. Well, it turns out he hasn't been heard from because he abandoned the Cape route and went undercover. Static was Kirkpatrick, Jenny says almost proudly. Turns out he has the power to avoid all forms of mind control, making him the perfect mole against hypno-powereds like Smither and Madame Weiss. When Smither went down, Kirkpatrick panicked and got trigger-happy. No one knows exactly how, but Madame Weiss found him out and he's been missing ever since. Any hunches? You ask, not wanting to think about what's probably happening to Static / Kirkpatrick right now. Apparently, Kirkpatrick had been collecting evidence against the Splice Circle for months, waiting for the right time to strike. The police think Madame Weiss has taken him hostage, trying to find the location of this evidence stockpile. She needs to get her hands on it for the new and improved Splice Circle to survive, not to mention to cement her boss status. Jenny looks at you, growing serious. Here's the thing. Only the MCPD and Madame Weiss know about this evidence, which gives you a unique opportunity here. If you find the stockpile, it'll help the police take down both Weiss and Splice. I don't think I have to tell you what will happen if the Splice Circle destroys that evidence and finishes restructuring. I'll be at the top of their target list, you say. Yeah, except Smash Run is way better than Smash Tour, Kinu. So, At least the 3DS version has something. But, so a prodigal, Jenny says. The Splice Circle probably already has information on her that we don't, so taking them out may also help lead you to her. So, if I find that evidence stockpile, I give the police exactly what they need to arrest the Splice Circle at their weakest juncture. In the process, I also clear my name and salvage my reputation as a hero. And as a bonus, I might learn something about this prodigal lady. This seems like a no-brainer. Precisely, Jenny says, smirking. So what the slugger are you waiting for? Well, what the slugger are we waiting for, chat? Are we waiting because getting wrapped up in this craziness again is downright suicide? Are we not waiting for anything, or are we not sure what we're waiting for? Does anyone really know what they're waiting for in life? Are we just waiting to die? Is that all life is? Two and three are tied at 1 vote each. That is the problem when I'm not able to stream on Wednesday and I do Thursday instead. There are less people, and thus voting can take a while. Oh, good. Now 2 and 3 are both tied with 2 votes each. Alright, I'm gonna coin this. Heads for 2, tails for 3. That is heads. We are not waiting for anything. We are ready to go. This is a second chance to get things right after that terrible first night. Best of all, if you're successful in shutting down the Splice Circle and saving Static, you'll surely be seen as the next champion of the Fringes. An excellent way to prove you are a hero committed to justice. Yeah, but Jenny, how am I going to find the evidence faster than the police? Madame Vice or some other meddling hero? You ask. I'm not a detective. That was a lucky break with Tracker's fingertips. Well, you better start getting used to some intrigue solving, almighty Red Vortex, Jenny proclaims. Because you were in Smither's headquarters and you confronted Madame Vice. So I'm betting you saw and heard things in there that might help you, even if you don't know what they are yet. The real question is, Jenny says with a wink, where are you going to start? Chapter 9, Case Magic. As you leave the Vigilante, you have to squint against the rising sun. Morning has arrived already, but you're too amped for your mission to be tired. Your eyes adjust to the light just in time to catch another flash out of the corner of your eye. Why does that keep happening? Some side effect of your energy powers you haven't experienced before? Maybe someone's following you? You find your answer, however, as you look at the corner and see a woman waving at you. It's Sanja Challa, the reporter who published the Gravitas stories about you. Yeah, she's the one who published the story about how we ruined everything. How long have you been following me? You ask as you approach, not in the mood for niceties, especially not with this woman. How long have you been seeing flashes you can't quite spot? I don't know, am I gonna go with Irish for Sonia? That doesn't, Sonia is not an Irish name. Should give her an accent, though. Irish or British? What do you think, chat? Which one? Irish? Alright. How long have you been seeing flashes you can't quite spot? Sonia says, speaking so quickly her words blur together. You only saw me now because I wanted you to, for the record. Great. And thanks so much for the glowing article on the Gravitas case. I really enjoyed it. I don't create the facts. I report them, Sonia says impatiently. If you want a good story, do better next time. Sonia's eyeballs suddenly flash bright white light, taking a mental picture of you. Literally, it appears as she has some kind of optic photographic power. The residual twinkling in your eyes catches on the dozens of gold bracelets lining Sonia's wrist. She's a short Indian woman with two thick braids of hair tied into a bun, wearing shade upon an indiscernible shade of black. Her liquid brown eyes twitch back and forth, no doubt taking mental notes on your meeting. Anyway, I've been following you for an in-depth piece, Sonia says, beginning to pace as she speaks. You should be flattered. Now, I want to ask you if I could have further access to your life as a hero. Nothing to break your secret identity, of course, but simply permission to follow all of your in-costume escapades. Well, that's quite an offer. What do you think? What do we think? Chat, what do we think? Are we not really sure, but we do know she's going to follow us no matter what, so we may as well say yes. Do we not trust her? She's trashed us already. Why wouldn't she do it again if she had the chance? Or does it just not really matter, so screw her? One and two, tied with one vote each. Does anyone remember what voice I did for Prodigal? Because she's going to come up again, obviously. And I don't remember what voice I did for her. Was she British? No, Sparrow was walking. If it wasn't British, I guess I'm just going to make it British. We are still tied with one vote each. There we go. Oh, no. Now it's tied up. I don't know if it's Alan Rickman, really. It's just my own British. I was in Lady Windermere's fan, an Oscar Wilde play, and I learned British for that. I played Gustus, was it? Sort of good-natured character, but mostly I just learned the dialect, the received pronunciation, of course. And there's quite a bit you can do with that. Yes, and of course I use it for Gerard, so it does, sound like Gerard. But, Gerard being one of my D&D characters, if you are not aware. But the nice thing about the British accent is that you can go very high and very low. And you don't really do that with an American accent. There's so much more emphasis you can put on things, and it's delightful, it really is. And I think that's why it's used so often for villains, because you really get to do all these sorts of hammy, cheesy things that you just couldn't do with an American accent. Right, it looks like we are going with option 1, however. So, we are going to accept Sonia's offer. Fine, but there will be conditions as to... An excellent choice. Sonia cuts you off again. I'll give you a heads up before the article comes out, as a courtesy. But you won't be seeing me again. Before you can respond, there's another bright white flash, and when your eyes finally recover, Sonia's gone. Excited to see what kind of article Sonia will put together, you make sure to strike a pose while flying into the air, just in case she's still watching. As you go, you also decide your next move should be to... What is our next move, chat? Is it to look for clues at the Riavel Bar, Kirkpatrick's former place of employment, or look for clues at Kirkpatrick's apartment? Oh my! Alright, looks like we are going to check out the bar. 15 minutes later, you sit in the bar at the Revel and order your favorite soda so you can check out the place. Come on, we're a fucking superhero and I guess we're on the job, you know. As you look around, you're surprised by how nice the place is compared to its scuzzy clientele. You bet you can't swing your arms in here without finding some kind of criminal. A thought to keep in mind for finding future cases. What interests you most, however, is the large woman sitting in a back booth with 2 police officers. From the look of her crocodile skin and spiked alligator tail, you guess she's the new owner of the Revel, which would also make her Madame Vice's newest general. Seeing that the croc lady is busy, you figure this is the perfect opportunity to look for some clues Kirkpatrick may have left behind. You leave a tip on the bar and walk toward the bathroom. Once you spot the back corridor, you slip behind a door marked Employees Only and immediately spot a door that reads Owner's Office. Jackpot! You break it unseen, breathing a sigh of relief, that is, until you see the place. It has been turned upside down, completely ransacked by the police and Madame Vice's crew, you assume. If there was ever any clues to be found here, you doubt there are any left at this point. Still, you figure there's no harm in trying to freeze! You hear someone shout from behind you. Keeping your cool, you turn around to find the 2 police officers standing in the doorway, aiming their guns at you. Perfect. As you stand face to face with the officers, you try to decide how to handle the situation. You still have to consider what has happened between you and the police so far. At best, they absolutely hate you, and at worst, they think you're a fugitive. Still, maybe now is the time to set the record straight. Better decide quickly, chat. Should we talk things over, try to escape, or attack the police? I mean, if we attack the police, I assume we would agree with the sentiment of fuck the police. Right now, escaping is winning with 2 votes, but we do have 1 vote for attack. It's now tied. Alright, see you, Kibby. Enjoy your dinner. Well, should I coin it? Alright. Was that a vote? No, yeah, that was a vote for 1. Okay, heads for 2, tails for 3. That's heads again. We're gonna cheese it. You haven't wanted to work with the police in the past, and you're not about to start now. Especially not after the whole Gravitas debacle. You know the police will be out for blood. Your blood. So, you immediately take flight, hoping to escape without any further altercation. You hear some shots go up behind you, but you don't stop flying until you're clear of the scene. You fly to a nearby rooftop to try to decide what to do. You're obviously not going to pull out of the case no matter what. You're thinking that maybe you could go to another location you passed up when you heard a thud on the roof behind you. When you turn around, you're rather stunned to be standing face to face with black magic. You blink several times, sure your eyes are deceiving you. But they're not. That really is black magic, your biggest crush standing right in front of you. Oh man, I need to decide on a voice for black magic, guys. What is a sexy voice? Now keep in mind, black magic looks exactly like Bully Demise. I have had quite the time tracking you down, black magic says. I need your help with something. Should I just go all the way to German? Because that was like, I don't know. This is black magic. I could do Russian. I could do German. Those are accents I can do. German. I should do... Okay. I've had quite the time tracking you down, Black Magic says. I need your help with something. Alternatively, Russian would be, I've had quite the time tracking you down, Black Magic says. I need your help with something. That was not great, but... You are the Red Vortex, aren't you? I mean, neither of them are my best accent, but... I think I'm gonna go with German. I think that fits Black Magic better. Black Magic, the famous, gorgeous, amazing Black Magic, has been looking for you? This cannot be real. You are the Red Vortex, aren't you? Black Magic asked, looking concerned. You still get a thrill when anyone says your codename, but hearing Black Magic say it sends a shock through your entire system. You look him over, happy to find he looks as much like Bully Demise in person as he does in photos. He's even got both helmets. Black Magic wears a sleek black uniform with a golden zipper running up the front, which he leaves partially undone, letting just enough of his chest show. The costume fits his body perfectly, showing off his curling biceps and flat muscles. Best of all, you really love that Black Magic is... I don't like Black Magic. After all that, yeah, I see what you meant, Kinu. That is clearly an option that was added later. It would seem like you like Black Magic, judging by everything that you said so far in the game. But do we like how rugged Black Magic is, how clean-cut Black Magic is, how unique Black Magic is, or apparently we don't like Black Magic? Looks like chat is going with unique. Black Magic has a way about him you've never seen anyone else pull off. Everything from his crazy haircut to his offbeat styling is completely original. Shouldn't work for him, but somehow it still does. And most of all, Black Magic looks free, like he can do anything he wants. Like he could get you into some real trouble if he wanted to. Speechless, are we? Black Magic asked, spurning. Yes, I'm the Red Vortex, you say, snapping out of it. Why exactly did you need me? Well, I heard you were the hero who helped with the Gravitas investigation. Black Magic says, coming closer to you. Hold on. Black Magic whips around and mutters, Get out, Scurio! Encasing the roof in a bubble of shimmering red light. So Black Magic is Zatanna, basically, I think? Is that anything backwards? Borix... Reneg... No, it's not anything backwards. You're about to ask what he's doing until you see a duo of paparazzi on a nearby rooftop trying to snap pictures. Black Magic must have cast a spell to protect the two of you against their cameras. Sorry about that. Thought I had lost them across town. Black Magic says, turning back to you. Anyway, I assume you know about the Kirkpatrick static connection. If you're back snooping for evidence. You nod, desperately trying to keep your eyes on Black Magic's face, which is equally as distracting as his body, unfortunately. Alright, Black Magic continues. The MCPD has looped the Millennial Group into their investigation of the Splay Circle. Since they've found the powered team to take down Madame Weiss and her new Splay Circle if that evidence is found. I'm the new kid on the group's block. So, Rebellion dispatched me to help the MCPD find the evidence stockpile. Plus, I have a particular hatred for Madame Weiss. You want to know what that's all about, but first, you have to decide how you want to play things with Black Magic. Should we flirt? We may never get the chance again. Should we keep things professional? Hey, this is our career! We could play hard to get. Or we don't want anything to do with Black Magic. It's kind of out of nowhere. It's alright. I guess we are going to keep things professional. This is our career on the line. So, how can I help? You ask, still not quite believing your luck here. Black Magic is asking you for help. You, of all people. You'd better not screw this one up. Oh, you can help me in so many ways. Black Magic says, looking you up and down for the first time. Feeling his eyes on you, your heart threatens to explode. The police let me go through static things, he says, getting back to business. Even though they didn't find anything, I got some weird vibes off of this pen, but I have no idea what it is. Black Magic pulls out a fancy black pen, and your eyes practically bulge out of your head. There's a tiny golden orb at the end of the pen, the same as the one that was on the tip of Madame Vice's whip. It's a telelock. I was hoping you might know what this is from your splice run-ins, Black Magic says, placing a hand on your shoulder, a touch that threatens to buckle your knees. Slugger, does he smell good? So, does it ring any bells? Of course, if that is a telelock, it's probably the only way to access the secret place where Static has stockpiled his evidence against the Splice Circle. But if you tell Black Magic this, you'll have to work together, assuming he decides to include you in the next step of the investigation at all. However, if you don't tell Black Magic, getting a hold of that pen might be tricky business, so do you want to work with Black Magic? What do you think, chat? Do we want to work with Black Magic, and if we're really lucky, the Millennial Group, we can join what is basically the Avengers of this universe? Or no, we don't care about working with other heroes. We need that clue for ourselves. Alternatively, we don't mind working with other heroes, but not Black Magic. Or, as long as we're involved in the case, we don't care what we have to do. Alright, it looks like chat would indeed like to work with Black Magic. As a matter of fact, I know exactly what— Ah! Suddenly, your brain feels like it's been split open. You fall to the ground, wondering if someone has taken an ice-cold blade and plunged it directly into your temple. Several images also begin to flash through your mind. A much younger Black Magic standing in front of a much younger Madame Vice in a dimly lit room. Madame Vice has a grin on her face as Black Magic begins to dance, peeling off its costume. Just as soon as this image sears itself into your head, another replaces it. This time, you're in a bed, and Black Magic hangs over you, his lips lightly touching your neck. As much as you like that last image, it burns so badly you think you might pass out. Then, the pain disappears as quickly as it came. What the— You gasp, trying to ignore the dull buzzing at the base of your skull. I'm sorry, I couldn't risk you lying to me, Black Magic says. The thought swap is one of my more painful spells, but it was necessary. So that was— You try to say, still finding it hard to form words. I saw your— We swapped our most prominent thoughts, Black Magic explains. I saw your knowledge of the telelock, and you saw my memory of my first meeting with Madame Vice, from the beginning of my career. I was having a hard time pushing that thought from my mind today. And the other scene? You ask. The second scene was where our thoughts met, Black Magic says with a gray and eyes boring into me. I like the way your brain feels, by the way. Okay. Black Magic likes the way our brain feels. Should we say thanks? Don't ever invade my mind like that again. I like the way your brain feels too. Or that wasn't necessary, Black Magic. It looks like we too enjoy the way Black Magic's brain feels. But Black Magic just walks across the roof away from you. I knew that pen was emitting some kind of special energy. He continues. Telelocks are tricky things. I know a spell that can activate it, but I need to recharge. That swap took quite a lot out of me. We should head back to the Millennial Group headquarters. You're about to tell Black Magic that you were able to override a telelock on your own a few weeks ago, but you stop yourself. The Millennial Group HQ is supposed to be one of the most amazing buildings in all of MC. No matter what your feelings on team-ups are, you're not going to pass up an opportunity to see how real heroes live. Maybe even meet some of them. The excitement doesn't have much time to settle, however, as something long and metal suddenly screeches between you and Black Magic, crackling with gray energy. Watch out! Black Magic screams, but it's too late. Chapter 10. Minterview. You dodged a tentacle arm just in time, leaping back onto the nearest roof and catching a glimpse of your attackers, 4 robotic creatures that remind you of automatic pool sweepers. They have sleek globular cores that host a swinging tentacle, which is armed with a blade tip and energy cannons. After you evade the pool killers, they zero in on Black Magic. You know he's still weak from the thought swap, so what's your plan of attack? Should we work with Black Magic to take out the pool killers, which apparently is their name now? Should we end this battle on our own with a powerful blast, or should we take the telelock from Black Magic and make a run for it? Looks like chat is going with teamwork. I'll generate energy shields. You take them out, you shout, zooming to Black Magic's side. As your red energy encases you both, Black Magic shouts, Refuge explode! Immediately, one of the pool killers erupts in a ball of flame. You take the offensive, Black Magic says, dropping his arms. I'm running out of power. Not missing a beat, you unleash a focus burst at the 2 nearest pool killers. But without warning, your power surges wildly, doubling the radius of the blast. It still incinerates 2 of the pool killers on contact, but was way overkill. What the slugger? It's the second time your powers have surged unexpectedly like that. Looking down at your smoking forearm, you wonder why this keeps... Get our tech to pro! You hear Black Magic shout beside you. Another wave of red flashes, though this time it's Black Magic's energy. Oh, fire okay, they are apparently anagrams, so yeah, Black Magic is the Tana. Another wave of red flashes, though this time it's Black Magic's energy. It protects you as the remaining pool killer tries to hack at your face with its knife tentacles. Sound as in you cannot hear me, or you lost the music? Okay, Kay can hear me, Admiral can or cannot hear me. I am unclear on this. Can you... say a couple words here in case Admiral's testing things, just so he knows that, you know, I'm here. Hopefully Admiral can get that sorted out. I guess I will keep going. So, want to pull it together here, the red vortex. Black Magic shouts. I know you have a terrible power combo, but I was hoping you could actually use them. Drop the shield, you say, reaching into your utility belt and pulling out a bunch of metal marbles. You charge them with energy, not wanting to chance another surge like the last one. Once the shield drops, you hurdle the marbles at the last pool killer. Many energy explosions riddle the robot's core, sending it smoking down onto the rooftops. What were those things? You ask, not wanting to discuss your power flare. I have no idea, but I bet they're a present from Madame Weiss. Black Magic says, whatever they are, we don't have time for this. I have just enough spell power left to get us back to the Millennial Group HQ. I can recharge and do the ritual on the telelog there. You coming? Alright, chat, are we coming? Are we coming but unsure about it? Or do we want to look at the telelog? Of course. Stand close to me, Black Magic says, and you have no trouble doing so. You're about to put your hands on his arm when he says, Por Transcortor's head. Suddenly, you feel as if someone has thrown you into the middle of a hurricane. Wind rips at your body, and you open your mouth to scream, but before you know it, you find yourself in the foyer of the MGHQ. And it's completely surreal. Located on MC's western shore, the MGHQ is a sleek tower shaped like a massive bullet. Currently, you stand in a dazzling white foyer overlooking the ocean. The walls are lined with wax-tech statues of every Millennial Group member, dating all the way back to the original roster. What you wouldn't give to have a statue like that someday. Come with me, Black Magic says, walking toward a bank of elevators. You snap out of it and follow, your eyes catching a holographic map of the headquarters. You look over the map, settling on, oh my god, that is a lot of choices. Chat, I'm not going to run a poll for this, just tell me where you want to go. Unfortunately, the casino is not an option, but we could go to the Mission Control Hub, we could go to the training levels, the Government Liaison Office, the marketing. I feel like this has to be a false choice. Would they actually make all of these things? The marketing and PR department, the transportation hangar, the advanced weapons arsenal, the tech support office, the research and development labs, the detainment block, the hospital, the recreational wing, the 5-star dining complex, or the Millennial Hero Museum. Alright, Cake would like to go to the marketing and PR department. What about everyone else? Where would you like to go? Anyone? I guess we're gonna go to the PR department unless anyone says thing shortly. I guess we are going to the marketing and PR department. You start to think about how much fun it would be to explore there, but then your eyes settle at the top of the hologram, which shows the residential levels. Each group member gets their own... Oh, yeah, so it's a completely false choice. Okay, great. Each group member gets their own first-class luxury floor with 360-degree views of the Pacific Ocean and downtown MC, or so you've heard. Of course, the top 3 penthouse levels belong to Rebellion. Greetings, Black Magic, a soothing automated voice says. How may I help you? Hey, Prasi, Black Magic says. The Red Vortex here is my guest, and we need to go to the Mission Control Hub. Can you request the other group members meet us there along with Officer Spillane? I've got a lead on this Splay Circle case. Weird, Admiral. At least you got it working. Hey, there are real choices in the game, too. Kinu hates this game. For anyone who does not know, I think it's okay. It's not great. It's okay. Are we... Processing request now, says the automated voice. Well done, Black Magic, by the way. Thanks, Prossy. Black Magic says as the doors swing open to reveal a glass elevator overlooking Millennia City. He steps inside and motions for you to follow. That's Processor. She is the building's operating system. She also happens to be the group's oldest member, an artificial intelligence construct that was the group's first computer system back in the 21st century, but has since evolved into one of the most advanced sentient AI beings on the planet. You finish, never one to be outdone on your heroic history. Plus, me chip Michelle Obama, as though he'd had quite the me crush on Processor. Oh god, apparently me chip Michelle Obama is capable of having crushes on things, which I guess means that she's sentient? Which I guess means that everyone has a sentient computer program enslaved to them. That's nice. Yes, some people think that Japanese Fire Maidens is the most advanced, but Prossy is actually scheduled for a systems upgrade that's supposed to kick her ass, Black Magic says. And you should see her mainframe body since she decided to gender identify. She's got a legendary rack. Good to know, Black Magic. You start to chuckle, but it catches in your throat as the glass elevator flies away from the wall and shoots diagonally downward. You feel your stomach lurch as the elevator enters a complex network of twisting tubes. You going to be okay, there, chap? Black Magic asks, smiling. Before you can even gain your bearings, the elevator doors swing open and Black Magic strides forward. He makes a few quick turns down slick metal corridors and finally enters a large room. You follow and try to catch your breath, but lose it entirely as you walk inside. For the Millennial Group is assembled before you. You can't help but stare, each member more impressive than the last. But who are we most excited to see? Is it Fistful, who sits in a custom chair since he takes up the space of 3 people? So, the Thing / the Hulk. Monk, a spiritual guru turned hero. Oh, Doctor Strange, maybe? No, there's got to be something that fits that better that I'm just not thinking of right now. The Diva, the wickedly powerful teen matriarch perched in an ornate throne chair. I guess, Miss Marvel? I don't know. Processor, whose legendary rack glows white underneath her glass skin. I'm guessing she's basically like Vision or something. Officer Spillane, the group's police liaison, who hasn't noticed us yet since her eyes remain firmly glued to her meat chip. Or none of them, we only care about rebellion. Yeah, Fistful is a pretty bad name. It's, I don't know if he thought that through. Shakeweight would be a better superhero name than Fistful. And I stand by that statement. Alright, it looks like people are mostly interested in Processor and her legendary rack. Black Magic walks inside and takes a seat next to the Diva. South African. Oh god. I don't know how to do that. Should I just do British? It's kind of similar to British, but it's definitely different. There's a girl in my class who did South African, but I never did it. It's really hard. And who is this? The Diva says in a thick South African accent, looking you over from head to toe. You swear you can feel your skin start to prickle under her gaze. There'll be plenty of time for introductions in the official debrief, someone says as they enter, nearly knocking you over. You're about to say something until you realize the voice belongs to Rebellion! The sight of your idol, decked out in his simple blue and gold fatigues, nearly makes you faint. He has quite the intimidating presence, which is helped considerably by his 7-foot height. Rebellion's eyes also glow a dim orange, pulsating with power. As you gaze in awe at Rebellion, you remember he's your favorite hero because... Why is Rebellion our favorite hero? Is it because he overcame adversity to become MC's most famous hero, just like we're gonna do? Because he stands for all the things that matter to us most? Because he's the best of the best? Because he does what he thinks is right, whether it lines up with the law or not? Or because he was the very first recipient of the prestigious MC's Hero of Tomorrow grant, an honor we hope to achieve someday for ourselves? We have one vote for he does what he thinks is right. And I will be back very quickly. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. This is an older one, actually, Lois. This was one of the first... This was, I think, the first big release. No, not the first, because a lot of people like the Vampire one and stuff. This was one of their most visible releases from Choice of Games that got people to know who they are. Looks like we are going for number 4. He does what he thinks is right. And that's exactly how we want to operate. Welcome back, UKB. Alright, we need a voice for Rebellion. I'm gonna go Russian. No. If our guest might take a seat, we can begin, Rebellion says as he stands at the head of the table, the impatience in his voice unhidden. You force your legs to move, and you sit in the nearest empty seat, which you hope doesn't belong to someone more important. As you settle in, you try to will your heart to stop pounding in your chest, because this is absolutely unreal. Last month, you didn't even have your own hero license, and today you're sitting in a mission control debrief with the Millennial frickin' group led by Rebellion. It's certainly enough to make your head spin. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, so you had better not screw it up. Black Magic has given the rundown on your telelock finding and your encounter with the pool killers. You thought you might be asked to speak, but aside from a brief acknowledgement of your telelock tip, yeah, everyone ignored your presence entirely. Rebellion's plan formed quickly. Black Magic is to report to the hospital floor for immediate recharging. Subadala. Once restored, he will discern the location of Static's evidence stockpile from the telelock. If the evidence is successfully secured by the MCPD, the Millennial Group will then take action against the Splice Circle, whose current whereabouts are to be researched remotely by the processor. You hoped you might get a chance to introduce yourself to Rebellion, but he was out of the door before you could even stand up, followed by Officer Spillane, who sent you a rather dirty look on her way out. You've dreamed of meeting Rebellion for years, rehearsed speeches and introductions, but this all turned out to be rather anticlimactic. Now, as the other group members begin to stir, you have no idea what you're supposed to do. Luckily, Black Magic approaches you on his way out. "Stick around," he says, placing a hand on your hip. "Things are about to heat up." Everything has happened so fast you barely had time to think about what you really want with Black Magic. But now, with him standing right in front of you, you know you want. Do we want to fling? Something serious? Who knows? Or nothing at all? We're a fair ways into this, by the way, Lois. This is the third time I've streamed it. We have one vote for everything besides a fling. No, this is Black Magic, Lois. Black Magic is the one that we can sex up. It looks like 3 is the winner. Who knows? We don't know. It's so hard to tell what our feelings are. You don't want to assign any labels or pressure things. You'd rather see how it plays out on its own. "What should I do while you're gone?" you ask. "The other group members will probably just hang around until our next order," Black Magic says, leaning in to whisper in your ear. "Go talk to them. Consider it part of your interview, as they call it." I don't know what that means, but okay. Before you can respond, Black Magic winks at you and strides toward the door. You didn't think I brought you here just for giggles, did you? Play nice now." With that, Black Magic leaves you with the rest of the group. "So, you aren't just here to help, you're here to audition for the Millennial Group? That's insane! Why on earth would they want a rookie like you on the team? Especially one with a brief but miserable track record. You know without a doubt that you want to be part of the community of heroes as prestigious as the Millennial Group, but you've certainly learned that it's useless to obtain opportunities you're not ready to handle. Knowing this, who do you think you should talk to?" Alright, we got 3 choices, guys. We got the Diva. Her megasonic voice makes her one of the most powerful women on the planet. Now in her early 60s, the Diva has been in the Millennial Group for nearly 20 years after her first profession as a cardiac surgeon was taken over by advanced robots. She's since risen to be one of the group's most respected and feared members. Monk, a former spiritualist turned playboy hero whose raunchy transformation has been splayed across the hero tabloids for years. The gender-neutral Zahir still adheres to her. Is that pronounced her? I get confused by those pronouns. Vow of silence, mostly because focusing her fast telekinetic power requires her full concentration. Or Fistful, who is torn straight from that old Jersey Shore stereotype. He's one of the most controversial group members, especially since many people think he uses illegal-powered steroids to amp up his already considered strength. It's here? Is it actually here, or is that a joke you're making? All 3 are tied right now. So we have Black Canary, older Black Canary. I don't know what Monk is. And the Thing. Yeah, Lois, but I think it is pronounced. It's just that it's written differently. Like there's a bunch of different sets. I looked into this at one point. It's like so there are ones that sound different and are spelled differently, but then there are ones that are just spelled differently. some reason, I have a memory. I'm gonna look this up, because we're tied 3 ways with the vote right now anyway, so... Oh, okay, you can pronounce it however you want, apparently. One and two are tied with 2 votes each right now. Yeah, I think here apparently is the more common one, though. Whoever voted 3, you want to change your vote, or should I flip a coin? Yeah, I'm gonna go with here. Alright, coin flip time. Heads for 1, tails for 2. That's tails. We're going with Monk. Gender theory has evolved quite a bit in the last century, as the concept of a binary gender gave way to a more sliding scale assessment between male and female. As a result, a third gender category arose, a curious combination of male and female anatomy that scientists eventually named Zahir. I think Zahir is a real term? I'm not sure. He met a few Zahirs before, and they're an unusually attractive bunch, possessing the best of androgynous male and female beauty. So you're definitely not going to pass up the chance to meet one as impressive as Monk. You walk toward Monk, seeing that Z wears her standard ivory-robed costume and is drinking a large mug of tea that you can rather unpleasantly smell from here. You're about to introduce yourself when Monk suddenly vanishes from sight. You weren't aware Zay possessed teleportation powers. So much for that plan. Not wanting to miss your opportunity, you decide to pick an older millennial. Okay! Well, the one in first was the one second was Diva, so I guess we're going Diva. You approach the Diva with caution. You remember your mother telling you the worst stories about her. Since they both had vocal-based powers, the Sound and the Diva ended up bitter rivals. As a matter of fact, your mother always thought the Diva was the reason she and your father were never invited to be a part of the group. Diva, you say, trying to keep your voice steady. Do you think I could... Walk with me, the Diva says before sauntering out of the door. You hurry along to catch up, studying her as she goes. The Diva's long black hair cascades across her flawless caramel skin. She's chosen to wear her House of McQueen costume today. Every major fashion house has taken a stab at her iconic costume during the past 2 decades. The Diva's closet houses a collection of some of the finest costume couture ever created. While the styling of the costume vacillates widely, they're always in her signature colors, white and gold with a bold splash of pink. The Diva's current costume is a skin-tight white bodysuit hand-sewn with silver seams. The bodysuit serves as a clean template to feature a structural dark pink collar that juts into the air in a sharp asymmetrical tower. The collar is lapelled and curves down into a point at the waist, creating a striking shape. Taking the costume in, you decide to speak up. Yeah, kinda, Admiral. So should we tell the Diva that we love her costume today? Oh yeah, you're totally gonna change that for me. You would never wear that on mission, right? I mean, or should we ask her where we're going? Looks like we are going to ask where we're going. It's a reasonable question. The Diva takes a moment to glance back at you, then continues walking without a word. You follow her for what seems like a long time, through corridors, upstairs, downstairs, all without a word uttered in your direction. You finally arrive at the diva's residential floor, and she walks inside with a wave of her meat chip, not bothering to open the door for you. You slip inside and find that the space is decorated impeccably. The perfect mix between a Park Avenue apartment and a Hamptons beach house, or at least what they look like in the Hollow movies. They're like movies, but holographic. There's lots of white paneling, traditional furniture, French doors, and hydrangeas. "Do take your shoes off, darling," the diva says. "Glad you could keep up. I hate those wretched elevator traps." You pull off your costume's boots as quickly as you can manage and trail after the diva, noting she hasn't removed her own stilettos. She finally stops in a palatial bathroom suite, which appears more like a fully functioning spa, considering there's a staff gathered to tend to the diva. "Come, sit, darling," the diva says to you, perching herself in a luxury recliner. "Hair, makeup, and massages are always necessary before public missions. Now, remind me, who are you again?" Alright, what should we say, chat? Should we just enter we're the Red Vortex! Force a smile. I'm the Red Vortex. Don't worry, my grandma has trouble remembering names too. The Red Vortex, or... Oh, I'm sure you already know what my codename is, darling, in a fake accent. There's a little bit of Watchmen in here, kind of, from what I remember, but they're not, like... There's definitely been superhero stories where the superheroes are bigger tools than these guys. They're kind of tools. They're toolish. Tooly, if you will. It looks like we're going to force a smile and say that we are the Red Vortex. The diva doesn't respond, evidently expecting you to go on. "I'm here to help with the static case, because..." "Yes, I'm sure that's a fascinating tale." The diva interrupts, closing her eyes as a mascara brush descends upon her face. "But why are you really here?" "I don't think I understand." "I'm always rather charmed by slowness." A stretch of silence ensues that is only broken by the sound of a curling iron hissing against the diva's hair. "All group members have the privilege of bringing in new recruits, but the poor dear does seem to have rather interesting tastes," Diva finally says with a sigh. "I never expected him to bring in anything quite so stray." Is the diva talking about you and black magic? You'd always heard black magic was a bit wild, but you never gave much credit to the rumor mill. Apparently you should have. If what the diva says is true, it sounds like black magic isn't gay all the way. But you're not about to let the diva walk all over you. Still, you're a team player, and you want things to go well with your interview, so your decision is as good as made. Our decision is, in fact, as good as made. I don't know how we would have unlocked the other decision, but we can't do that now. Does it have something to do with our stats? I don't know. Well, we're going to play our game. "Well, I'd certainly argue there's more than enough black magic to go around," you start. "But I'm happy to concede him to the world's most enrapturing heroine, if that is your wish." Hey, if the diva needs to mark her territory, you're happy to let her spray wherever she may. But you don't necessarily have to back off black magic, especially since the diva won't ever know what happens behind closed doors. "Oh, now Cutie's got claws," the diva says, her thick lips stretching into an actual smile. "I do think we're going to get on famously. When it comes to black magic, there's a certain history. History that bears repeating." "We understand each other perfectly," you say, smiling back at the diva as widely as you can manage. "You know, darling, you do look remarkably familiar," the diva says. "You remind me of someone I can't quite place." You immediately think of your mother. It looks like you're going to be able to get some additional revenge for the Shat's name. But before you can respond, Processor's voice comes over the intercom. All group members kindly reconvene in mission control. It appears we'll have to finish our chat some other time, the diva says, waving away her style minions. I'll be sure to put in a word so that may happen. Yes, you say. I'd like that very much. 5 minutes later. As you re-enter mission control, you find the rest of the group is already gathered. You take a seat next to Black Magic, who looks recharged and good as new. So, how'd that go? He whispers to you. You know that your interactions just now probably sealed your fate with the Millennial group, but Rebellion's voice booms from the head of the room before you can answer. Officer Spillane will handle the debrief, he says. In the meantime, I'm going to have a word with the Red Vortex outside. He is? Slugger. Standing outside in the corridor with Rebellion, your pulse begins to race. Now is your chance to say something to him. You scream at yourself in your head to speak. Rebellion, can I just say, it is an absolute honor to... I'll keep this brief. Rebellion cuts you off. Firstly, I want to thank you for helping us with the telelock. Because of your tip, Black Magic was able to locate Static's stockpile of evidence. Madam Vice hasn't gotten to it yet, and the MCPD has already procured enough to take down the entire Splice Circle. You pause, trying to absorb the information. Are we happy to have played a pivotal role in furthering the investigation of the group? Are we angry the case was stolen right out from under us? Or do we not mind? We got to tour the MGHQ and meet some of those heroes. That was reward enough. We have one vote for number 3. Alright, 1 and 3 are tied with 1 vote each. Alright, number 1 now has 3 votes, so that is the clear winner. Who cares about one case? If you play things right, this opportunity might lead to much bigger and better cases. But as you push that thought from your mind as Rebellion continues. The Millennial Group has been tasked with bringing in the remaining Splice Generals, which is exactly what we're going to do. But there's something else. Our PR department has decided that adding an aspiring rookie to our ranks will help boost our image and help us gain a younger following. It's all nonsense to me, but I'm not opposed to bringing in a promising amateur to mentor. We've been auditioning many young heroes, and as thanks for your assistance, I was thinking of including you in the mission. Holy slugger, you think? Rebellion is thinking of asking you to fight alongside him? To maybe even mentor you? This is too much to even process. And you really seem like a team player, Rebellion says. So you can join us in this Splice Circle mission. You can hardly believe your ears. Did your idol just tell you that you'll be fighting alongside him with MC's greatest powered team? And that if all goes well, you can lead to actual group membership? Looks like sucking up to the diva really paid off. I'd be honored to join, you say. I absolutely won't let you down. We'll certainly find out, Rebellion says. We happen to be auditioning another new potential member today. He's here now, actually. You turn around, and your stomach drops because you see Jury striding down the hall. No, you think anyone but him. As Jury stops next to Rebellion, the sight is enough to make your blood boil. Well, look who it is. What voice did I do for Jury? It was some kind of like, yeah, it's Jerry. Oh, god damn it, what voice did I do for him? I know his dad's like the British judge, dude. Alright. Well, look who it is! I think it was something like that. Jerry says smugly can manage. Good to see you again, cutie! We've got to get going, Rebellion says, turning to re-enter mission control. May the best hero win. As Jerry follows Rebellion inside, he winks at you and mouths, "You're going down." Oh yeah? Game on! No one is taking this opportunity away from you. Especially not a victim. Alright, Chapter 11 Splice Girls is next. But I think that's going to be it for tonight. But let's take a look at our stats before we stop. We are 69% justice, 31% fame, 13% lawful, and 87% lawless. We are pretty lawless, chat. 55% defense, 45% offense, 82% team player, and 18% soloist. We've got 77 power, 100 health, 1,194 monies, and 17 legend. Yep, 69%. We get along very well with our family. We get along, honestly, surprisingly well with Victon. Normally that's lower than that, but not so great still. We get along pretty well with Sparrow, 60%. I think Black Magic likes us, guys. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I think there's a thing going on there. And also the Millennial group at 83%. So next week we will continue. Looks like things are looking up for the Red Vortex. I'm sure nothing can possibly go wrong. I mean, everything has gone wrong up until now, but now everything is clearly going to go right, and it's not going to get even worse. That would never happen. Clearly never happen. Everything is coming up Red Vortex. So, thanks for coming, everyone. Magical Diary tomorrow, and I will see you around. Have a good night, and have a good life.